start today, we're going to have an invocation, and we're lucky we have Knox Bullock from the Woodland Bible Church is going to give that today, and then we're going to have the pledge. And I haven't even looked at the sheet to see who's doing the pledge.
Mr. Baker.
John Baker. Everybody know John Baker.
Oh, yeah.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for this day that you've given to us. We thank you for our city of Connersville and the good citizens that make up this community. And we're asking, Lord, that you would bless these proceedings today. Thank you for our mayor. Thank you for our Board of Public Works. And we're asking that you would help them as they make decisions to make the right decisions for our community. We believe they have the best interest of our community at heart. May your blessing rest upon them and upon all of our city. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
I'll call the meeting to order, and we will ask that you turn your cell phone on vibrate or off, whatever is easiest for you. And the first order of business then will be roll call.
Jane Oakley.
Present.
Fran Schomel.
Present.
Leonard Urban.
Present.
Mike Bishop.
Present.
Ron Coldiron.
Present.
Let the record show that all are present on the Board of Works today, and we have a quorum, and we may do business. We would have the reading of the minutes of the last meeting of March 16th, 2015. What's your pleasure?
I move we accept the minutes as they've been presented this afternoon.
Second.
Got a motion and a second that we accept the minutes as they were mailed out to the board members. Any discussion? Any additions or corrections? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We have the honor today of having a lady from the library. I'd like for you to get up and introduce yourself and say a little something about Library Month here before we read this proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Fayette County Public Library joins the American Library Association in celebrating National Library Week every year. It is from April 12th through the 18th this year. We will be having a few events going on. Library Appreciation Day. We'll have National Bookmobile Day on Wednesday. We would hope that everyone, including the board, please visit the library and see what wonderful resources we have to offer. And I'm sorry, I did not believe I introduced myself. My name is Melissa Scott. I'm the assistant director, and I'm always thinking about the next thing what I need to do with the library, so I appreciate it.
Okay, and you can take classes over there, and I think that needs to be said if you can.
I'd be happy to share that. The library has acquired access to a program called Gale Online Courses. They are for free for library card holders. They last for 6 weeks. There's 2 sessions a week. At the end, the person would receive a certificate that they could take to their employer or potential employer. There's classes for computers, there's classes on manufacturing, there's classes photography if you're interested in learning how to use your camera better. There's some health classes. There's all kinds of classes, and they are constantly adding new classes, but the best part of it is free to all of our Fayette County residents.
Okay, I think that's important.
Yes.
Okay. With that, the city of Connersville is really proud. How long has this library been here?
This building has been here since 1981. The library opened for the city in 1907, but we actually have had a library in Fayette County since John Connor's Trading Post.
That's great. And then we've got these little box libraries all over town.
We have 6 free libraries throughout the county, and by the end of the year, we'll have a total of 12.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The city of Connersville, this is a proclamation for Library Week. It ends on the 18th. Board, she invited you to come over by the 18th and have lunch, I think she said, did she? I guess that wasn't in the invitation.
We'll come anyway.
Whereas libraries create potential and possibilities within their communities, campuses, and schools. And whereas libraries level the playing field for all who seek information and access to technologies. And whereas libraries continuously grow and evolve in how they provide for the needs of every member of their community. And whereas libraries and librarians open up the world of possibilities through innovative programming, job-seeking resources, and the power of reading. And whereas librarians are trained professionals providing technology, training, and access to downloads of content like ebooks, and whereas libraries support democracy and effect social change through their commitment to provide equitable access for information to all library users, and whereas libraries and librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week, now therefore I, Leonard E. Urban, Mayor of the City of Connersville, do hereby proclaim the week of April 12th through April 18th as National Library Week. Encourage all residents to visit the Fayette County Public Library this week to take advantage of the wonderful and unlimited library resources and possibilities available at your library. In testimony whereof, I have hereto set my hand and caused to be affixed the seal of the City of Connersville on this 6th day of April in the year of our Lord 2015. Leonard E. Urban, Mayor of the City of Connersville. Julie A. Greason, Clerk Treasurer. It's an honor to proclaim that, and I hope everybody takes advantage of it. And especially remember, she said all those courses or classes are free. What a wonderful thing. And we thank you for your service, and we thank you for being here today. And we invite you to stay if you'd like.
I'm on the agenda later, so
Okay.
thank you.
Moving on in new business, we have a request for an approval for the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast, April 20th through May 2nd. That'd be Senior Judge Dan Plum.
Thank you, Mayor.
Before you start, Dan, I want, come on up. I like to do honor where honor's due. This Saturday night, Dan accompanied a World War II hero to Washington, stayed with him all day, wheeled him around, and took good care of him, and brought him back where we could all have the excitement of the return. I was there. It was wonderful. There were thousands and thousands of people there to meet him. And Dan, to take your time and to do what you've done is just commendable to you and to your veteran. And everybody needs to know what you did. And your wife was right there by your side. We do appreciate all that you've done. In retirement, you've given a lot to the community in the way of the senior luncheon, many other things that you've been doing. And I know, as mayor, I appreciate all the help you've given me.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Now you can go ahead with your request.
As you know, first Saturday in May, Derby Day, Kiwanis has its annual pancake breakfast. This is going to be our 65th annual pancake breakfast at the Expo Hall. Started in the basement of the Y in 1951. So this year we're having it again, and we'd like to permission to hang the banner over Central Avenue from, as it said, April the 20th to May the 2nd. And I should tell you, I have tickets. It's from 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. and we use all this money for scholarships and other activities here in the community. And they're $7 a piece for adults, and all you can eat. And I should tell you, they're very delicious and they're non-fattening. And then we have sausage too. So
Non-fattening sausage, of course.
non-fattening sausage, of course. So we'd appreciate it if we would have approval to hang that banner and for all of you to come and enjoy these delicious pancakes.
It's available, right?
Yes.
And it is available, Melissa said.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
please.
Got a motion and a second. We approve the pancake breakfast banner from 20th of May to the
20th of April.
20th April to the 2nd of May. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion
Thank you.
carried.
Thank you.
See how easy that is?
Yep. You guys
Thanks.
have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have requests for an approval of closing Central Avenue from 4th to 5th Street, May 7th for the National Day of Prayer. Doug Kaler. Knox leave? Okay, we've done this every year. We're gonna close the street, right there just for, I think it's an hour, 2 hours, Melissa? 2 hours. So we can have the day of prayer there. We do this every year. I'd like for you to give permission if you would.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, that we allow the approval of closing Central Avenue from 4th and 5th Streets on May 7th for the National Day of Prayer.
I'll second.
Motion and second to allow that street to be closed for a couple hours while we celebrate Day of Prayer. Any discussion?
What day of the week is that? What day of the week is that?
You know,
Thursday.
7th, what day is it, Melissa?
Thursday. Thank
Mayor,
you.
what time would that start? What you
It's
said?
at noon, so it probably goes from 11 to 1.
Okay.
They have a lot of little kids come and sing and different things. Okay, it's just one block. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Approval for a home run 5K on April 25th, Connersville High School baseball team. Chief Dave Counselor.
The CHS baseball team, they're gonna have a 5K run up there, but they're gonna stay in the area of the high school and down Ranch and Ridge Road in that area, so they won't be going out on 44 any or going in west or any place out of the confines of that neighborhood. I talked to Jason Floyd. He said there's no need for any type of traffic control or anything else from the city, because him and a couple other deputies are also involved with this, and they would take care of any type of traffic control or security or whatever. So all we need is your approval to do it.
It's a morning event, Dave.
Yes, I believe it is.
Now, I want one officer from the Connersville Police Department out there because of insurance.
Okay.
It's in the city. The county will be there, but one officer from our city needs to be there. If something would happen, I want to be sure that we were there, that we had somebody there.
All right, we'll have them there.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the home run 5K April 25th for the CHS baseball team as stated by the council.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, approval for a bucket drive, Fayette County Cancer Society on May the 9th. Shirley, Counselor.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, we would like to have a bucket drive. We've done this for many years, May 9th. It would be from 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. And we'd be at 6th and Central and 6th and Grand. And all the money collected, of course, goes to the cancer patients that live here in Fayette County.
Okay.
I move we approve the bucket drive for the Cancer Society on May the 9th.
Second.
A motion and a second. We approve this bucket drive. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Approval to use the courthouse parking lot for Community Day of our Youth on July the 9th. Melissa Scott.
Thank you. We would like to use the courthouse parking lot for our community day on May 9th. It is a joint project between the Fayette County Public Library, United Way of Fayette County, the Connersville Chamber of Commerce, and the Purdue Extension Services. It is for grades K through 6. And there'll be a lot of events down there that are going to be free to members of our community.
What
We're gonna
happens?
We're gonna
I'm
have a
sorry.
touch a truck, we're gonna have the gigantic obstacle course. We'll have, different vendors set up, offering services to the children. We're hoping to do mock trials, jail, tours, and, the fire department tours.
What day of the week is that?
It's on a Thursday afternoon.
Thursday afternoon.
Yes.
And what are the hours?
It's going to be from 11 to 4 for the event, but we'd like to use the parking
Okay.
lot all day long. To allow us to have time to set up the vendors and to set the trucks up. Because we hope to have fire trucks, the bookmobile will be there, sheriff's department, city police will be there.
You have to have,
It's to be honoring our heroes is the thing.
you have to have the entire parking lot, is that what you're asking?
We would like to have the whole parking lot.
Except for we won't need it over by, the courthouse side
That's,
over by the railroad and all that. We're just gonna do the square.
Like they do for Thomas Day.
right.
Okay.
Just needs the part the city owns. We
Right.
don't own that
Right.
other part, so.
I'll make the motion that we approve the request for the Community Day for Youth on July 9th.
I'll second that, please.
Motion and second to allow the parking lot to be used for this community day. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Approval to block Central Avenue and 46th Street, June 14th, for the American Legion's Cruise for Kids Bucket Drive on June 5th. Callis Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. What we're asking is that we have permission to block Central Avenue from 4th to 6th without the intersection of 5th. That will be left open so that the traffic east and west can still go through. On June 14th, as well as use the city parking lot like we did last year for this. All the proceeds from this will be for the E.W. Tapman Fund. Last year, we raised over $2,000 for them, and hopefully this year we can do more.
Yeah, we've done this for what, 4 or 5 years?
This is our 5th annual.
Fifth year.
And then as far as the,
Is that a
Bucket
Saturday? That,
yes, that's a Sunday.
That's a
Sunday, June 14th. And then as far as the bucket drive, which we're actually gonna call it a helmet drive, because we're gonna be holding helmets instead of buckets, but we'd like to be able to do 6th Street at 6th and Grand and 6th and Central from noon to 6.
what's your pleasure, board?
I move that we accept this and allow the block for Central Avenue from 4th and 6th Street on June 14th, which is on a Sunday, for the American Legion's Cruise for Kids and Cruise for Kids, yes.
Second, please.
Got a second?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Approval for bucket drive, excuse me, going too fast. Mike Winter,
Thank you, Kelly.
Thanks.
Okay, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
you hear from Mike? You want to go call him? I'll table that for a minute here. Approval for a bucket drive St. Gabriel Relay for Life on June 20th. Karen?
We're skipping the one on Wednesday.
Karen Lippincott, and yeah, I'm head of St. Gabriel's Relay for Life team, and the bucket drive would be, I don't have that in front of me,
June 20th.
20th.
6th and,
6th and Central, 6th and Grand,
yeah.
and proceeds go to American Cancer Society to find a cure for cancer.
What's your times, hon?
We have not figured those out yet, but I'm thinking we did last year 10 to 4?
That's okay.
Is that good? I think we did 3 different things, made 10 to 4.
What's your privilege?
Pardon?
Well, I'm asking the board.
I move we approve the St. Gabriel Relay for Life Team's Bucket Drive on June the 20th.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Okay, approval to block the alley behind Central Christian Church on June the 13th for Church Community Fair. Tom Cece. Tom is the associate pastor over at, youth minister over at Central Christian Church.
Yes.
Tell us what you're doing, Tom.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, on Saturday, June 13th, for about 5 hours, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to have a festival, kind of a June festival. It's a community fair. And we're not raising any money. This is not a fundraiser of any sort. But instead, there's a group of parishioners who have an interest in festivals, and they're hoping that they would raise the same interest, and other members of the community just come out and enjoy a festival. So have a dunking booth there, and I think the fire chief is allowing Sparky to come out, and we'll have a cotton candy, snow cone, and hot dogs, and face painting, and just a lot of games and a lot of fun time. So what we're asking is that the parking lot behind Central Christian Church be safe and secure. So we're asking that the from Eastern toward the driveway on A Street be blocked off, which actually goes to the alley, so that the bank on A Street will still have an exit going in and out. The same thing on the other side of the parking lot. So on the south side of the parking lot, from Eastern to the alley, that part will be blocked off. So, but then again, the users of the bank on the south side and the north side of the parking lot will still be allowed to have access. We're just looking to block off kind of from Eastern to the alley.
On 8th Street?
On 8th Street.
I talked to John.
I know you guys got this worked out, so.
Yeah, it's basically, where Gutman's used to be, the old building there, block the alley there, all the way down to the intersection where nobody from the north going north, and block it there and block it on 8th Street where the alley is, and then we're gonna have to have some kind of a barrier put up there with barricades or whatever to block it to where the bank can still get in there, but they also can still have their parking that's next to that little white house that used to be there, or is there. So we've worked it out, it'll be okay.
What's the time going to be?
From 10 to 3, from 10 to 3 on June 13th.
We allow the alley to be blocked for June 13th for the church community fair.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to work with him when it comes time to do it, okay? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Approval for a bucket drive, June the 6th, Rotary Club, Riley Hospital, Bob Slichty.
The agenda had June 16th, it is June the 6th, we're having, I represent the Connersville Rotary Club. We're having our annual bucket drive for Riley Hospital on June, we'd like to have it on June the 6th from 9 to 12 at 6th and Central and 6th and Grand. We've been doing this for 5 or 7 years, and it's very heartwarming to see some people come up there and donate. Usually get a comment that my grandbaby was a Riley recipient. Little sidebar, if you didn't know it, our county prosecutor, Betty Jones, was a Riley baby. And I think she turned out pretty good. So we'd like to have from 9 to 12 at 6th and Central and 6th and Grand.
Okay. Is that available, Melissa? Yeah.
I move we approve the Rotary Club's request for the Riley Hospital bucket drive on June the 6th.
Second, please.
Motion and a second. We approve this bucket drive for Riley Hospital on June the 6th. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Approval for a bucket drive for Lime Time Entertainment on April 10th and 11th. Music competition in Los Angeles, California, May 1st. Cody, where are you, Cody? You have to explain all that to us, because I don't
I
get it.
sure would love to, I will.
Now, Cody, who are you?
My name is Cody Delph. I was born and raised here in Connersville. I'm a mortuary science student in Louisville, Kentucky. In addition to that, I also manage 4 artists. They are hip-hop artists, so, but they're all from Connersville, Indiana. I come to you today for approval for a bucket drive on April 10th and the 11th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the corners of 6th and Western and 5th and Central. And if you would like, I can explain to you a little bit about the competition, sir. Board. Out of 1,600 contestants, there was a panel of 25 judges who selected 50 artists to go through to the competition in Los Angeles. All 4 of my artists are from Connersville, as I previously stated, and all 4 were accepted.
Are these musicians or art students?
They're lyricists, sir. They're hip-hop artists.
Yes, I'm not smart enough to know what that is.
They're rockers? Are they hard rockers?
No,
More
no.
rap than
Rap.
More
is-
rap.
It's more rap, but we are hip-hop influential.
You
Our
would
main
know
thing,
that, wouldn't you?
yes, you would.
Explain rap to us.
Thank you, Mrs. Oakley.
You know what that is? Well, you didn't know it.
Sing, James.
If I could explain that it's not your mainstream rap. Our lyrical content is clean. We're trying to bring a positive image and message to our
Yeah.
city. We love this place. This is where we're all from, and this is a community that we all want to thrive in. Our main goal is to be an influence for the younger generation and the youth of the city. With your permission, I ask for the bucket drive.
This is to finance these guys going to.
Yes,
LA?
this is partly to finance.
Their travel expenses, is that what we're looking
Yes.
at? Okay.
For 4 people, it's going to be $2,000, of which we have our plane tickets, and I have an event set up at the castle here in town on April 18th. That will be a show from 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock, and that'll be an all-ages show. Also, so we have several things in place. The bucket drive would be one more thing to add on as a fundraiser.
Who is Lime Time
Lime Time,
Entertainment?
Limetime.
I'm sorry, say again?
Lime, Limetime.
We have it at the end.
Yes.
Lime, okay.
It was misspelled on the paper, but
It's all
that's
right,
okay.
no problem.
The members include I myself and the manager. There's Matthew Boatman, Kyle Sturgeon, there's Brandon Hobbs, and there's Preston Hart. Mr. Hart and Mr. Hobbs are of New Day Entertainment, and Mr. Sturgeon and Mr. Boatman are of Lime Time Entertainment, and together we are Lime Time and Associates.
Mr. Baker, are we
I swear,
legal grounds here?
Well, I guess the question I have is this a nonprofit entity?
Yes, sir.
Are you organized as a nonprofit corporation?
Not yet, sir. We are working towards an LLC.
To me, that's.
Did I mess up there? We are working towards an LLC.
You should be working toward a
Limited liability
501c3.
company is a
Okay,
nonprofit.
then we are not a I guess I'm unfamiliar with the terms of a non-for-profit, sir.
Well, you're a benevolent or charitable or religious society. You don't
No.
make money, nonprofit corporation.
No,
And I don't know if, it doesn't sound like this might be the case.
What the problem is here is we can't allow private individuals to make money on the street in a bucket drive. It has to be 501c3, people that like Cancer Society, American Cancer, you heard it here today, the Patman Christmas Club, Christmas Fund for Kids. It can't be, I can't go down and say, well, I'm gonna raise money to buy a new car.
Well,
I
understandable,
can't go
yes.
down and raise money because I want to take a trip to China. I want to take it, It has to be not for profit, and that's what they're trying to ascertain.
May I bring up a question?
Sure.
This past weekend, the robot team had a bucket drive on 6th and Western.
I believe that's connected with the school.
That's connected with the school,
That
that's
was,
right.
that was my question.
Yeah.
And I'm not against your thing at all. We want all good entertainment here, and I know your entertainment's good and clean, but that's what they're working toward here, to
We
try
have
to
to stay in
figure out.
compliance.
Okay, what do I need to do to make those
They
steps?
need to be sponsored by an organization, I'd say. Is that right, John? What do you think?
I mean, if it was going directly to what's the age of the 4
Artists?
contestants?
18 to 22, ma'am.
Okay,
23, excuse me.
okay.
What would it take to make this a legal group, John?
You need to get an organization, someone here in town to sponsor them, correct?
We've done that before. Have a nonprofit entity sponsor your folks or your group and come in and request the same thing you're requesting now.
Okay, is there someone who can put me in contact with the group possibly?
Oh, there's tons of groups all over town. There's several of them are right here today.
Okay.
You can talk.
Talk to Katrina, yeah.
Kellis Allen back there is putting on this thing for the American Legion. You could do entertainment for the American Legion. You could do entertainment for the chamber, or the library. You could do entertainment for any of the service clubs.
Okay, and if those steps were taken and approved by,
Then you come back.
Okay, come
Yeah,
back
2 weeks.
in 2 weeks?
Or
Okay.
just make an appointment with Melissa and she'll fix you up to come back whenever you can.
Thank you very much for your time.
Do you understand?
I do. And I thought-
Otherwise, there's
Yeah.
13,800 people being here and say, I'm gonna have a bucket drive.
And I
I need a
assumed
new
I would run
car.
into friction, but I didn't know what my next steps would be, so, thank you for helping with those.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Very nice young man. Thank you.
Okay. Main Street Revolving Loan Fund, Katrina Bailey. Chamber of
Okay.
Commerce.
I have a request to borrow $25,000 from the Main Street revolving loan fund through Parsley Commercial Properties, and that is the sole proprietor of, it's Matt Parsley organization. He is wanting to purchase the Fifth Third building. And currently that building has a Main Street loan through Epic Enterprises or the Carseys. And if he does get this loan, he'll need to take second position on the loan. Typically what we do is we take first position when it's real estate. But in this case, it would be Union Savings and Loan would take the first position on the loan.
Are you telling us you're gonna have two loans on the same building?
There's going to be 2 loans on the same building, yes.
I mean, 3 really, because Union Savings is gonna have one and you're gonna have 2?
No, we're going to, the Main Street loan that is currently out through the Carseys or Epic Enterprises will be paid in full
Prior to.
prior to them getting the $25,000 from the Main Street. Am I confusing?
No, you're telling us
Okay.
right, go right ahead.
Okay, that's all I have.
Everybody got that?
My only concern is it's kind of a risky loan because we cannot take first position on the loan.
Yeah, you're taking a second mortgage,
Mhm.
and you may want to consider personal guarantees from, well, are you loaning to his corporation? Mr. Parsons
his corporation, yes.
Yeah, you may want
Is he
to,
a corporation or is he?
He's a LLC.
or a limited liability company, you may want to get personal guarantees from the owner of that company.
And what type of I have.
I can help you with.
Okay.
Okay, under our bylaws, these loans are meant to help people that have a problem getting all the money in one place or borrowing the money, right?
Yes, and that's why he's coming to us because Union Savings will only do
Okay.
a percentage of the loan.
Have we ever done that before, taken a second mortgage?
On
We've
the
always
same
had
building,
first.
on the same building.
Have we not loaned money on buildings that already had a mortgage on? I think we have.
I can't remember.
I think we have. We've loaned money, John, to fix up a building when they probably had an original mortgage.
I doubt that we took a mortgage on that.
No, we just loaned them the money.
Well, it would just be a note.
But that's what this money is for.
It's purchase. This money is for purchase of property.
It's not for fixing.
But isn't the money for helping make downtown better?
Yes.
How quick you need to know?
Well, he wanted me on the agenda today, so.
Well, I think if the Board of Works suggests or would agree to personal guarantees from the owner of the LLC, that would be probably more security than a second mortgage. Or you could do both.
I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Because if we're taking the second mortgage out, we're not gonna get anything. If it
Right.
goes to
The
bond.
first mortgage is gonna
Uh-huh.
take all the equity in the building.
How do you determine ownership of the building? If you're getting 2 mortgages on it?
It's the same LLC will own it.
I got you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
got you, okay.
That's common. That's fine.
Yeah, thank you.
I would agree if they would do personal guarantees, I think.
And not a second mortgage.
And cover the liability.
And it's only 25,000, so.
Only?
I mean, you know.
No, if it was
it's-
25 bucks.
He could've, yeah, well.
Why are there 2 people involved?
There's actually one LLC is purchasing the property, but right now there's 2 Main Street. There's already Main Street loan out on the building right now. That loan will be paid off before I loan the money back out for the
Let me
building.
give you a little history on this.
Okay,
That building was out there, it belonged to the CEC.
yes.
Desperately, at the end of the year, we needed to find an owner for that because we had jobs over there and we had our studio over there.
Yes.
So just a few days before Christmas, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I talked the redevelopment group into taking the building. They took it very reluctantly, but they took it and ran the building for about 6 months until they could find a buyer, being Mr. Carsey's company, and the name of that company is?
Epic Enterprises.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Reese, the city, through our redevelopment committee, sold it for $25,000, right?
No.
2,500, I think.
$2,500. Okay. Now, Mr. Carsey and his company has found this new company, this LLC, that's willing to pay $100 for it. Now, remember, Mr. Carsey has put a lot of money into it. I mean, he's
Oh,
fixed
yeah.
the roof, fixed
Absolutely.
the elevator, he's done a lot. He has a buyer now that wants to pay $100,000 for it. He's getting his first mortgage at Union Savings and Loan. He wants us to come by with $25,000, or this fund, to make that happen. And then this new company will own it. Now, some of you see that as, hey, he made money on this building, this isn't fair. I don't see it that way. I see it that we had one company that was willing to take a risk and take it off our hands, because we certainly didn't want it. Now I see another company that's willing to take a risk on that huge building and put more money into it. So be it, as long as we can keep that building going and keep our jobs in there and keep our studio up there. And we have a nice building downtown, which they keep improving it every time. I see nothing wrong with it. I think the question here today is, what type of security you want on that loan?
Mayor, you may want to mention or comment on the Hope Center is located.
Oh, that's right, the Hope
upstairs.
Center's up there.
And there is a
Another-
business downstairs that provides jobs to the community.
And all of those leases will be subject, he'll have to honor those leases.
There'll be
Whoever buys that.
assignments of leases.
Okay.
Yeah.
And not only, yes, he did get the building for a reduced price, but he did take out a loan through Main Street to do all the improvements to the building. It's not like.
Which he has to pay off.
Yeah,
before
and
we
I
can give
did,
this loan.
and I did took my checklist over, and he did make the improvements that he said he was gonna do. They put in new
New air
heating
conditioning.
and air conditioning system, fixed the roof, fixed the outside of the building,
Resealed around the windows.
did some new carpentry and paint, and when I was there, the roof was leaking, but there was somebody there fixing it at that time, so.
Can I make this motion? I usually don't do this, but I make a motion that we allow this $25,000 to be approved, providing there's a personal guaranteed and providing the original loan to the revolving loan fund is paid before this one is granted.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Has there been an appraisal on the building?
I do not know.
I should be able to answer that, but I can't
I know
remember.
the air quality is fine. It seems to be a pretty good, solid building. A lot of square footage.
I don't recall if there was one done on it or not. I can't remember. Do you, Julie? I can't.
Well, I don't know if there's been one done this time.
Oh,
I'm sure the Union Savings Loan is going to require an appraisal.
I would think they wouldn't do a mortgage without one.
Yeah, they'll require probably a phase one, they'll require several things since they're getting into it.
And maybe inspection too, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think as far as the city of Connersville, I think it's a good deal that that building continues to improve and we continue to have somebody that wants to own it, so we can keep that
and keep
80,
issues and
90, 100
answers.
jobs, keep the Hope Center, and keep our, and we all have
Issues and
contracts for a period of time. I think it's a good deal. Even if somebody is making some money on it, I still think it's a good deal.
I don't know if he's going.
I don't know if he's gonna make money or not. I'm waiting for discussion.
Do our current contracts, like for the CTV3, that stays in place?
I
There
think that's
isn't
good
any-
for 20 years.
Okay.
And is there anything in there with the redevelopment commission to where it's right now in Epic Enterprises' hands? Was there anything that says in there that the Epic has to
No.
be the owner? Okay, it could change hands. Okay, that's the only question.
It was
I had.
free and clear to them, yeah.
That's why the liability part of it.
John, do you know the length of those leases?
No, I don't.
I
But
know.
they must all be assigned.
Yeah.
I-
The
issues
sale
and-
has to be subject to tenant's rights.
Issues and answers, I think they have a 3-year lease or,
And they have several options.
yeah.
Yeah.
And John's CTV3 is, I think he said 20 years. And this guy that's buying the building, he's on the Hope Center Board of Directors, so.
Okay, if everybody's in, what's your pleasure?
You already made
We
a
already
motion.
got it.
I made a motion. I don't usually do that, so,
All right,
did
we'll get
anybody
what he's
second it?
doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fran did.
I second it.
I'm an old man, folks, and I get confused. Okay, if there's no other discussion, we'll have a roll call vote.
Jane Oakley,
Yes.
Fran Schomel.
Yes.
Leonard Urban.
Yes,
Mike Bishop.
Yes.
Ron Coldiron.
Yes.
Thank you.
that's 100%
Thank you,
vote,
Katrina.
and the motion carries. Okay. John, do you have the contract for Lifeline Farms today?
No.
But
No,
it's
we're
in,
still
it's in the
negotiating.
works, right?
Yeah, we're still negotiating. I think we were very close to getting an agreement. I
Okay.
need to let Fran take a look at it. He's on the committee
Okay.
before we call it a final contract.
I saw Mike. Was he table? Mike.
Yeah, but she's,
Yeah, you may want to table it, man.
let me take a little
Okay, yeah.
approach the. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, let me talk.
It's on you.
Will you take the?
Yes. Do we need to have a motion to table the Lifeline?
Yes, Fran, I move that we table Lifeline till next meeting.
Second.
All in favor of tabling the Lifeline Farms contract until another meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? It's tabled until our next meeting. Okay, the resolution 2015-13 is
Excuse me,
transferred.
Fran.
I'm sorry.
Mike Went is here now.
Oh, Mike, come in. Sure,
I've got two numbers.
you're number G on our agenda.
Yeah, I apologize. I took this up so that I wouldn't forget to come here and,
Okay, tell us what you want to do, Mike.
well, here on behalf of the Connersville Youth Football Program, they wanted to have a boot drive on the 25th of April and wanted to see if we could get your blessing on that.
You have May 30 or April 25th.
Well, I
prefer the-
took 2 dates because I
Oh,
don't know
okay.
who was gonna be, what they want. I left it up to the powers that be, gave them 2 dates and they picked April 25th.
Okay, and
Which is, of course, the opening day of baseball as well, too.
the normal Sixth and Central and Sixth and Grand
Correct.
locations? Okay.
I move we accept the bucket drive for Connersville Youth Football on April the 25th.
Second.
Any discussion?
Oh, sure.
What's this involve? What is the youth football? Mike, can you
For
tell us
the-
about the ages and? so
It's
on
from
and so forth?
1st grade on to 6th grade.
Okay, and these youngsters play a game, organized games?
Yeah,
regularly?
it's a regular league. We play against the same conference foes that the high school team does. It's in connection with the varsity program. So they're playing Batesville and East Central and Brookville and, Franklin County and so forth, Lawrenceburg. They travel all over and it's a pretty nice setup because they're playing by each grade, so it's not combined, second, third, fourth, whatever. It's actually 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade,
Good.
4th grade. So they kind of play it, but they're developing some rivalries as they go along and getting to travel and do some other things. So it's worked out, I think it works out pretty well.
And when did your season begin?
I'll probably start in August.
Okay, after school
Yeah,
resumes, okay. Have you done, is this the first time for this?
I think it is. We're kind of reorganizing. I'm on the board. We're reorganizing and trying to do some new things to raise awareness and to raise some funds for equipment and things of that the kids are having to be furnished with.
Okay, we usually, when it's the first time, we ask them to get with the street department because there
Right.
are some rules and regulations that we
Right.
require.
You've done
Okay.
it before.
Yeah, and I've told them about that. They want me to pick up stuff in the street department and the cones and
Right.
vests and so forth and so on.
Okay, fine, Mike. Okay, you've had the request. What's your pleasure, please?
Mike, out of respect of Mr. Delph, this is part of our school system program.
Correct.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed? Okay, Mike, you have it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike, you might want to, do you have to leave?
I'm done.
We're going to discuss the baseball thing here in just a minute.
Okay.
I want to apologize. Sometimes when it's an economic development return call, I have to take the call because I don't want to ask the people to call back. Maybe I've waited 2 or 3 days that was an economic development call I had to take, and I really appreciate Fran. I can just hand him the gravel and he goes right on. But I do apologize for interrupting the meeting. Where are you at, Fran?
We were beginning with the resolution 2015-13.
Transfers.
Okay, we have 2 resolutions, 2015-13, 2015-14. I think we can take them together. You'll understand what it is, just transferring money.
The non-reverting operating fund for the park, $10,213.50. Julie, would you explain what non-reverting is, what it means?
Well, when the park takes money in for, just like fees for soccer and all the things that they do up there, all the sporting events, part of that money goes into non-reverting funds to cover the cost of the operation of the funds.
Okay, I just wanted the public to know what we were doing, what it meant. This $10,213 is distributed among the Miller Center, field facilities, soccer, pickleball, summer camp, and softball. I'll make a motion that we approve these. The first aid is to repair buildings and structures, $100 to refunds. 2015 and 13 and 14, I move that they be approved, these resolutions.
Second, please.
A motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Turning over to our second page, we have request to hang a banner for Summer Discovery. Jessica Law from the Parks Department. Jesse?
Yes. I'd like to hang a banner, as the mayor said, for Summer Discovery. It starts on June 1st. It's for 1st through 6th grade, same as it always has been. I believe the dates are May 18th through the 29th.
We won't have our sign up by then? Our big sign?
so.
I don't think so. This advertising our Summer Discovery that we do every year, we served more than 1,000 children last year.
It's a great program.
What's your pleasure?
I move we approve the hanging of the banner for Summer Discovery.
Second.
Jessie has another thing she's got in your packet, the facility usage agreement.
Did we vote?
Did we not vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I thought that was just kind of a,
It is, but it's still
Yeah.
probably.
It is, but it isn't.
I told you, Maybe the interruption affects my mind more than it affects you guys. We have a facility agreement that Jesse's worked up with the Babe Ruth Group, and we do this every year. I hope you've had time to read it. It's basically the same as last year, right?
Yep.
Mayor, I've looked at paragraph G, it's a very limited liability insurance clause. Since last year, we've strengthened that considerably in other contracts and agreements, so you may want to consider putting the more detailed insurance clause in, including a hold harmless and indemnity agreement.
Would you like to rewrite this contract and put that in there for us?
I'll just change the paragraph G's though.
Okay. I think we can approve it with the addition that Mr. Baker changed paragraph G. Is that okay with the board?
Yes.
We've been putting that in all of our contracts, that it doesn't keep you out of court, but if you have to go to court, it helps you.
I move that we approve the item 2 for the Babe Ruth facility usage contract agreement with the exception of item G until Mr. Baker can get the language in it changed. Is that okay?
You want it to go right on, we don't want to bring it back here, do we? After you change
I
it.
don't see a need unless the rest of the board does.
Okay, do it.
Bring it back if there's a problem.
Is there a second?
I'll second, please.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay, we have a request from Chief Counselor. Go ahead, Chief. We have a couple of officers that we want to honor today, and the chief will bring that forth.
We had a situation back in September 28th, and I'm gonna let you, what started this is Robbie, who's a captain of the third shift, happened to be off that night, and he was working the security detail at the windmills. And there was a call up in Office Park, yes, about Iowa Avenue.
Yes, 3300.
3300 block of Iowa Avenue. He was hearing monitoring the radio traffic and everything else. So basically what I'm going to do is, he wrote me a letter of commendation for 3 officers responding to this call up there that was pretty heroic. Now, I want to say this, we have incidents like this quite often. And the thing is not everybody gets recognized for their job they do and under these crucial times at times. And so we should be handing these out a long time ago, but unfortunately we haven't. And some, mainly sometimes they just get overlooked, and we read the report, but we don't really get into the details until, you know, just like in this case, he's the captain, and he also responded, because it turned out to be a pretty intense situation. And so he brings it to my attention, and I look it over, and that's when I give it some attention. But I got a little more on top of that even. But Robbie, I'll let you go from there, and I'll let you read the letter that you sent to me.
Okay. Like Chief said, on that night, I was off duty, was listening to the call. They were working with the three officers, Officer Katie, Officer Dean Rowland, and Sergeant McCurry that night. Knowing that they probably need assistance, I took off down that way to help whatever way I could. What they did that night was, I mean, it saved lives that night. They saved this young lady's life, because had they not done what they did, it would have been an entirely different situation that we would be talking about right now. She may have not survived, and the other gentleman, the suspect, may have not survived that night either. We'd be looking at a different situation. So I took it upon myself. I felt like these guys, with the work they did, they should have been, you know, accommodated for it and stuff. So I wrote a letter that on September 28, 2014, Officer Dean Rowland, Officer Chad Cady, and Sergeant Michael McCurry responded to an incident at 3311 Iowa Avenue in Connorsville. The officers responded to a call of a female being threatened by a male subject with a knife. When they arrived, they assessed the situation and found that the male subject was holding a female hostage at knife point. The outcome of the events was a great success, and that the victim was safely secured and the suspect was taken into custody. The effort and dedication that the officers utilized in the incident provided the safe outcome for the victim in this incident. All the officers involved displayed great courage and teamwork to resolve the incident. During the incident and after it had concluded, all officers displayed professionalism and thoroughness in the completion of the investigation. These officers should be commended for the hard and brave work that they displayed on this scene. Their ability to assess the situation and work together resulted in the apprehension of a dangerous subject and saved the life of an innocent victim.
And so with that said, and going over the report and researching a little further, I wrote a letter of accommodation myself to these three officers. Well, I should say 4 officers, because he backed them up and he played a part in that. But him being modest, he don't mention him in here at all himself. And like I said, the third shift, I mean, my whole department, you know, are very dedicated individuals, and they give it their all out there. And so this was a time that I felt they ought to be recognized also. On September 28, 2014, Officer Dean Rowland, Officer Chad Cady, Sergeant Mike McQuarrie, and also Captain Fee responded to an incident 3311 Iowa Avenue, Connorsville, Indiana. The officers responded to the call of a female being threatened by a male subject with a knife. When they arrived and assessed the situation, they found that the male subject was holding a female hostage at knife point. The outcome was a great success in that the victim was safely rescued and the suspect was taken into custody. The effort of dedication, training, and experience the other officers utilized in the incident provided a safe outcome for the victim. All officers involved displayed a great courage and teamwork to resolve the situation. During the crisis and after had concluded, all officers displayed professionalism, thoroughness, and completion of the investigation. These officers are commended for a hard, brave work they displayed at the scene, their ability to work together, resolve the apprehension of a dangerous subject, and save the life of an innocent victim. Signed, David J. Counselor, Chief of Police, and Dennis Perkins, Deputy Chief of Police. And all 3 of them other officers aren't with us this morning because they worked third shift last night. And of course, they get to bed, and one lives in Richmond, and he drives and everything else. So I've invited them to come to this, and I think they had intentions, but some other things come up, and all of them worked last night. So, so I got their captain here, and so I would like to. What I did is I got some pins to put on there for valor, bravery. And I wanted to recognize them, and what I'll do is I'll come over to their shift when they're here working this week, and I'll give them their letter and also their pins. But for right now, like I said, he was off duty at the time, but he was working a security detail, and he wasn't far from that scene. And I'm glad he showed up, because that could have turned.
Are they working the third shift?
Pardon?
Are they working the third shift tonight?
Yeah.
One of them is, the other two will be off tonight. Officer Katie works tonight at McCurry. And
I was gonna say,
Roland are off.
you're welcome to bring them to the council meeting where they can get a nice picture of them over here.
We can do that, or what I was gonna do is come in on their shift.
I'd like to see them have a nice picture for the paper.
Okay.
And Daryl's nodding his head like he'll do it.
They probably won't be here at 7 o'clock.
won't be here.
I doubt if they come in at 7 o'clock.
But maybe you can arrange to get it.
I'll arrange something where they can come in and get a picture, or we can
Just
get a
take a
picture,
pic-
we can get a
yeah.
picture and give to Darryl.
Give it to the paper, yeah.
That's what we'll do.
I think
Because
we should.
I know how it is to get, to be up there or whatever and get dressed up and come in for this and everything else. But this time, I like to pin this ribbon of valor on Captain Fee. Because he is an excellent captain and supervisor, and he's been on since 93, 95?
95, yes.
Now, in the Marine Corps and the Army, when they're in the Special Forces or the Marine recons, they usually take the pin like this and it's like that in their uniform and they drive it in. But he's got his vest on. He's afraid of that.
Okay, prepared.
My uniform without the vest.
Man, you ought to put a little more starch in this uniform. If I say Al's, I start bleeding.
Get his finger.
There you go, sir.
Very
Thank you, sir.
good.
Thank you.
Let me say a word before you guys leave. I always get accused of liking the police more than I like other departments because they're in the same building with us. These police officers can tell you that they seldom ever see me back there unless I'm back there looking for a chief or an assistant chief or want to talk to one of them. I do have the privilege of listening to the police radio in my car as I go from meeting to meeting, or I'm at the street department, or I'm at whatever department I'm in, the parks, or wherever I happen to be. And I try to make it, especially this time of year, I ride around town a lot looking for potholes, so I can yell at my city street superintendent about potholes. Gives me something to do and gives him something to do. But in the 8 years, or almost 8 years now that I've been here, I have seen that the police department is just a different animal than it was 8 years ago. The things they put up with every night, I don't know how you stand it. I've watched our police officers get roughed up, threatened. That's the reason I asked you to put the tasers on them so we can keep from hopefully them getting killed and they're having to kill somebody else. If you watch TV at all and you see the way towns are, our town is no different. We have people and things happening that are just unbelievable. I hear 10-year-old kids beating up grandmother. I hear a 9-year-old kid the other day beating up his mother. I hear the school call for help. They can't handle the kid. In my day, believe me, the school handled the kid. And when you got home, Dad handled the kid.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was. And I have to take my hats off to you guys because, yeah, you get paid for what you do, but boy, it's something. And I do appreciate Robbie. He is a great captain. And to leave a safe, nice place, and I know the incident, I know it in detail because we went over it, to leave a safe place where he didn't have to worry about anything and go down there and put his life in jeopardy to help the other 3 officers when he isn't even working, isn't even required to do it. I think that's commendable. So Robbie, we appreciate it, and I hope you tell your other officers how much we appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
When we go to bed at night, we go to sleep. And I want to tell you the response time in Connersville, I've had people that have alarm systems in their house, and they'll call me and they'll say, I can't believe it. So the thing goes off and the police cars are out. Just, it's there. We have a policeman in all areas of the town most of the time. You never know where they are. And our response time is tremendous. There's no other place, I don't believe, that is as safe as we are. And yet we're doing it, what, 5, 6, 7 officers less than we did 8
About 8
years ago.
officers less than what we did when we started.
8 years ago. We appreciate it. You two also, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Utility Department. That'd be Mike Bottomley.
Real quick, just a couple items. The Grand Avenue project is underway now. This morning that we had to shut the water off at 21st, 23rd Street. It's back on now, so now there's a boil advisory that's been put out till later on today. The F project, which is 24th Vermont and Iowa project, that's also getting started. They're moving equipment in today, and that'll get started this week also. The insurance letter has been approved, and I gave you guys a copy of what the residents will be getting in the mail for your information. The only other items we got, I need to get permission. Brad kind of did an inventory with our mechanic of old equipment we have laying around. I gave you a copy of that. Copy or not, right? There it is there. We just want to get permission to auction off. We have some old vehicles, some old equipment, and also get permission to recycle. We got a lot of old metal laying around at the water plant, sewer plant, service building. Get permission to recycle that also. I also think there's a bunch of old meters laying around that we need to get rid of, but just need to get permission to get away with those things.
How you intend to do it? You want to auction it?
The auction will be the vehicles, that list,
Uh-huh.
through Coons. Not for sure the date, but
Okay.
we're working on that.
As long as you auction it, there's no problem. And it's advertised to city
Yeah, we'll
auction.
get it all.
What's your pleasure, board?
I'll make a motion that we allow this auction to proceed for obsolete equipment at the utilities. I'll get it out in a minute. Utilities department.
Do I have to record the serial numbers of this for state auditors?
They probably take it, they have to take it off of their inventory.
Okay.
Every department has an inventory list with the equipment on it.
Okay.
Got a motion, did you say? Did we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion and a second to.
Do we need
No.
to amend it to include scrapping of metal besides the obsolete?
Yeah, I just got we got a bunch of miscellaneous stuff.
What we usually do with that is we take it
Recycle.
down
Yeah.
to the scrap metal seller, and then he gives the money to
If, didn't know if it had to
Julie.
be an addition, not just the auction. Okay.
We usually don't make them auction that stuff. Is that right, Brad? That's all we have left. I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
All right, that's all I have. Any questions?
That's all you have today?
That's all I have.
Oh, here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Brad, did you have anything? Right underneath your name, it says update, so. Old business. We've been talking about this ballpark now for about a year, 2 years, and we are making some headway on it. I have a great committee. Mr. Coldiron represents the Board of Works, and I want to say that we think we're going to get it done. We have been working with the foundation, and we're going to secure the land. That's the reason I asked you to stay, because all through the last 2 or 3 years, you've been telling me, if we get the land, you'll help us get grants to build the park. We can use the bleachers, we can use the lights from the old park. I wanted you to hear this, and Ronnie, would you expound on it? I don't think, because we're negotiating with to purchase, we don't want to talk about the numbers or the figures. We don't want to tell where the money's coming from, because we're negotiating. And when you're negotiating, you don't want to give up your keys. So, Ronnie, if you'll...
Well, I think you pretty much covered it. Last week, we did enter the direct negotiations with the property owners, had some really good meetings. We did bring the Fayette County Foundation on board with us, and they're really helping out a lot. And I'm really happy with the progress. We've got another meeting set up in the near future. It looks like this thing might fly, so I'm pretty excited about it.
And this land is near the soccer field south of
Yes,
town, right?
it will adjoin the soccer
Adjacent to
fields,
it.
yes.
Okay.
Be able to put it all together in one
Yeah,
complex.
just wanted folks to know where we were
Who owns the
talking
land
about.
where it's at right now?
Hmm?
Who owns the land where the ballpark's at right now?
The city owns most of it.
So we'd sell it?
No, it's part of the negotiation. Yeah.
Sorry.
Also on the same, we are working with the foundation on a grant. I've signed a letter of intent to make the trail go north from 32nd Street north to Lick Creek. And we are in the process. I think there's still some property not cleared up, John, or is it all clear now?
As far as I know, the committee has heard from the title company maintaining that they have, the city has ownership of the property through a quitclaim deed. I'm not on the committee, so I haven't got that as part of them.
We are proceeding. We think we know where we're gonna get the money to blacktop it. We think we're gonna be able to hopefully get it done this summer, and I've signed the letter of intent with the grantor of the grant, so we're gonna try to get that done too. We would do that with our own people. They would just pay for the materials.
Is that adjacent to the old railroad?
It's right on top of the old railroad.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Miscellaneous business. Any questions about that? Anybody here want to talk about the ballpark or the trail? Okay. Miscellaneous business, you got anything, Ronnie?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Mike?
I did get a call, now that you asked me, Mayor, thank you, about the overpass there on, right adjacent to Mousie's, how it's deteriorating at the bottom. You can see that it's really starting to erode out. And is that our railroad here in town, or is that?
I've talked to the railroad on both the overpasses, the one that gets hit all the time and the other one. They say they are completely safe. I cannot imagine getting hit as much as that's got and still be safe, but they say it is. It's inspected, it has to be inspected. What's that? There's a group that comes through and inspects bridges. It's all been inspected, and they say it's okay.
How often do they inspect them? Do you know, once a
I
year?
don't know that. I don't know, but it's been inspected.
I think that's a federal thing.
Yeah.
That's what, but I looked at it myself, and it's starting to really show erosion.
On the bottom.
Yes, sir. That's all I got, thank you.
Brandon, you have any miscellaneous?
No, but I do believe after every accident, the railroad people come in and inspect the overpass. Because I know when I worked at dispatch, well, I always had to notify them. They came right away to check it out to see if there was no structural damage. Usually the trucks are the losers when they tangle with it.
Jane, you have any miscellaneous business?
No, sir.
You gonna be able to run your buses with the Grand Avenue Tour Up and the F project?
We have already rerouted, and parents and students are being notified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a year and a half.
But you won't be in school much longer, and maybe the F project will be done by the time school starts, so.
Hopefully.
You got any
Hopefully.
miscellaneous? Okay. John, you got anything you want to tell us?
I have nothing more than, no.
Nothing more than no.
No.
Okay. Claims, including payroll. Oh,
District superintendent has something.
I'm not on your list, but I have something I'd like to say.
well, why didn't you say so when I asked? Come on up. You know, you can be on the agenda just by notifying the
Yeah,
secretary.
but this is something that came up this morning. I have a thing here that we decided to do yard waste, and we're gonna do it next Monday. And then after next Monday, we'll do it every Monday, the first Monday of each month throughout the summer. So that's what we decided to do. So we're gonna do it next Monday, just to get our feet going, and then the first of May, then the first Monday in May, we'll start every Monday then from then on.
Every Monday?
No, every first Monday, I'm sorry.
One Monday a
One
month.
Monday a month.
You have guidelines, Dave, on what yard waste is?
It's the same as it's always been. You can bag your grass, leaves, whatever, put your sticks out in 4-foot bundles. We'll pick those up too. Anything that's off your garden, as long as you can bag it and we can get it in the truck, we'll do that.
Thank you.
First Monday of each month. Now, we are negotiating, and I'm gonna talk to the council tonight. We're talking about having a free day at the transfer station, rather than try to do large trash. We're talking about just having a free day at the transfer station, a Friday and a Saturday, which Fran's idea was to go all day on Saturday. I've talked with Mr. Creech, and he said it's doable. We gotta pick that day. I want a clean-up, fix-up day toward the end of April or second week in May, and we will keep the transfer station. So everybody could bring their stuff down there, and we'll dispose of it free, but they have to haul it themselves.
Because we get a lot of calls.
But we're
just
not,
like you do.
we're not in a position financially to put on a heavy trash pickup. It takes too much overtime and too much manpower. But we think it's fair if we open up the transfer station and take things free if you'll just bring it down.
That's everybody from the city, right, Your Honor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we couldn't take counties. We'd be hurting.
I just want to bring that up.
Why can't you go ahead and plan the date?
Well, I want to ask the council because we're spending money.
Oh, okay.
It's appropriated money, and I think there's enough money in the fund to do it, but I still want to ask the council. They're usually okay that.
We still have to pay to get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll talk to them tonight, and at our next meeting, we'll be able to announce the day that everybody wants to do it. Mr. Creech has a couple of days in mind that he'd like to do it.
Today's the first day of hot patch too. We finally we're making it today, so at least we've got that to work with now, so we'll start getting all the potholes, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Claims.
Claims for utilities, we got some high numbers, and I'll try my best to explain what I go through.
Yeah, it's not really as it appears to be.
It's right.
It should have been put in there, actually.
Do you want to just not even discuss them?
No, it shouldn't have, it's not an expenditure, so it shouldn't have been put in as a claim.
Well, I don't know how
We
do
made
that.
some investments,
We
and they
took-
put
yeah.
they show on our claim docket as an expenditure.
Just leave them out, can't you? Just leave it out?
Just take 500,000 off water and $1 million off.
So water would be
That's
$59,902.85.
Yes.
And sewer would be $45,390.61.
No, sewer's 95. This would just be 70,000. There was a
70,000
million
for
out of
stormwater is $70,308.20. And I hope somebody deducted that mathematically for the total. What is the total on it?
225,601.
Yeah.
1 million?
No.
No.
225, it's $225,601.66. Thank you, Ron. Hope everybody
City
got that.
claims, you got those?
195 the total, and the money amount, $79,344.75. And the largest single expenditure was the $10,000 that the city paid to the county for the 911 expenses. Then, of course, we have the flood payroll, which is around 300,000, I believe, something like that.
I move we approve the claims, including payroll.
Second.
Motion and a second that we approve the claims as presented. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We have public forum. Now's the time when we'll take any complaint or anything the public wants to give us, and then some. I worked on your project this morning.
You worked on my project this morning?
I sent the police chief over there to look at it, and I sent the street superintendent over there to look at it this
I
morning.
brought photos, so the
Of
board
the,
could
of
could
the Veterans
look.
Park on Eastern?
The Veterans Park. The Veterans Council is working hard to keep the park clean, and we're also working to hopefully break ground for a memorial in the park. The city's been nice enough to give us that piece of land as a Veterans Park. We want to put a memorial there for all the veterans. I went to clean it up because the VFW was going to use it for an Easter egg hunt, and we do hope to use it for Memorial Day. And over the winter, we had noticed that snow kept getting kind of bigger and bigger and bigger over there in the lot. And we've noticed before that the curb kind of had been chipped away out. Well, this year it is atrocious. We found out that the railroad station, CSX, is using their heavy equipment like their bulldozers and their excavators to move the snow. So then when they're coming back down and they're emptying their buckets, they're pounding on that curb, and they're taking giant chunks out of the curb itself and dumping that concrete into the park. Also, any gravel or anything else that they're scooping up when they're doing it, they're dumping it in there. We went over and had a conversation with them just to nicely ask them if they would mind to help us clean it up. We were told it wasn't theirs, they didn't care. And if you look at the pictures, you can see that's where they use as their parking lot. around there. If you go to visit the park, there's nowhere to park there. And the concern is when we have somebody come in to mow, whether it be us paying someone to mow or a volunteer, a rock gets thrown out.
Right.
Well, what's the first thing they want to scream? Well, my car was in, my windshield was broken by a rock that comes out of the park. Well, we didn't put the rocks there. So I don't know, I don't exactly have a proposal as to what we should do, but I would like to work with whoever we need to.
I'll tell you what I did do. I got a note from Melissa this morning, and before I came over here, I sent two of my people over to take a look and see what we need to do. So I told them I would stop by after this meeting, and I'll see what they have done, what needs to be done, we'll go from there.
I've also had to get a hold of them as the president of the Veterans Council and have them to move their equipment out of the park. They have actually taken and backed their equipment up over those curves and parked them in the park, which I think is very disrespectful.
Who are you talking to with the railroad? Are you getting high enough? You're not, or are you just talking to the people?
We're talking to the people there at the office over there at Railroad.
I was gonna say, and when my husband, while we were cleaning up trash, because I spent an hour and a half out there picking up the park, he asked to speak to the highest up that was there. He was notified that somebody else actually, I guess, drove the equipment to plow the snow. And they just said, well, we'll park somewhere else. They're still parking there. I don't know when they plan. So I didn't know if it's even possible to work something out with them that they use their own space to park in. We can't have visitors there.
Did I talk to
because of-
Dennis about this or David this morning? David or Dennis? Get one of them, will you?
I think it was Dennis.
I normally don't like to complain.
Did
It's
I
just gotten
talk to you
a
about
point.
this this morning?
Yes, and I've already got it posted for extra patrols over there to keep an eye on it, so.
And they're not to park there.
Right, so. We
You're gonna
didn't know
get-
anything about the parking, it was just vandalism that was given to me, and now they're.
John, what can we do since it's a veterans park? We can't tow the car, can we?
Well, I think the first thing to do is what you're doing, and that's try to open some communication with some authority there, someone that has some authority to make some decisions. It doesn't sound like that's been done yet.
Well, and like I said, it's been something we've tried to do ourselves and not bring to you guys. It's just gotten to the point now where we're just being blown off. So at this point, it felt like
It does.
and you know, I contacted your office first, but
It
Melissa
does
referred me
concern
here.
us because they're breaking the curb that the city put in.
Right. And so at this
it
point,
looks
we felt
ter-
it was time to
It
bring it
looks
to you.
terrible. It's a junkyard.
And, you know, we're hoping to break ground this summer to put a new monument up in honor, excuse me, in honor of all veterans. And we hate to go through the expense of that and then
Have it torn
have it
out.
tore down because of them driving their equipment into
They
into
dump
that
their
park.
stuff.
And they sit in their vehicles on their brakes, and this is from cleaning it up. Now, of course, I didn't take pictures of the petty stuff, but you'll see piles from where they open their doors and they sit there and they smoke and they just put their cigarette butts right outside the door.
Well, let
And
me
there's
tell
small
you.
piles, and it's like,
When I was trying to get permission to paint the overpass, I probably spent 2 weeks on the phone. I would call this one, I had to call that one. I'd call that one, I had to call this one. And I finally got to the top, and they said, we're not doing anything. If you want to do something, go ahead, we don't care. Okay, it's hard to get to the top of the railroad, but I'll tell you how you can get there after the meeting. I'll tell you how to get there.
Maybe if we start issuing some citations, we'll get.
Well, we can't issue a citation because it's private property.
But let me go.
yeah, and like I said, I just didn't wanna,
But we're aware of the problem, and we're gonna work on it, and I'll tell you how to get a hold of the top guys.
okay.
I was gonna ask, who owns the real estate you folks are referring to?
The city.
City.
The city has given us that property as the Veterans Park. It's just the Fayette County Veterans Council, we take care of it, we put the flags up.
So is it still in the
we
city's
maintain
name?
it.
I thought it was in your name. I thought it was in the veterans'
It's
name.
still in the city's name.
As far as I know, the
As far
city
as I'm
still
aware
owns
of,
it.
the city still owns it. We have basically got it leased for.
Then we could issue a citation.
Yeah.
I was
The
gonna say, we just
city
maintain
still
it.
owns
The
the park, we
city,
maintain it. I
we just
believe.
maintain it, we maintain the flags, we maintain the grass and all that, but
You
The city
You
could,
owns
own the
it.
parking lot also where they're parking.
so you
Or
could
is it
issue a
just the
citation.
area?
Yeah.
It's the whole horseshoe as far as I know. in there.
But we can find out
Well, we'll research this. We'll
We'll
work on
get
it.
their attention real
I'll tell you
quick
what
and
to
get
do.
their pocketbook.
I've got a couple of them.
if we're able to.
thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, Kelly.
Legal description of the same as Lawson.
Anything else under public forum? Anything else under public forum? None appearing, we will proceed to close. Thank you. Don't forget, this is Library Week till the 18th, free lunch. No lunch.
Next week.
Huh?
Next
lunch.
Free books, no lunch.
You're not gonna get that out of her.
We appreciate everybody coming today, and I would take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.